Hello, friends. I see a lot of people taking this YouTube thing way too seriously. I watch a lot of small channels. I like to click on random stuff I find, people with, 100, 200 subscribers, things like that. And they get all bent out of shape. They get all worked up, complaining like, oh, I'm not where I thought I'd be, and I put so much effort into learning how to edit the videos, and I think my videos are great, but nobody watches them, and this stuff. It's a lot of Gen Z have this sort of impression in their mind that they're going to be YouTube superstars. I guess that's a pretty common thing for young people to say, is that they want to be YouTubers when they grow up. When I was a kid, we said we wanted to be astronauts. I don't know why. I mean, that sounds crazy, going out and do some death coffin that flies off into outer space and you're totally alone and you got to rely on like tubed food or something. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. We can see the view from space from somebody else taking a picture. But I don't know. These days, the kids want to be YouTube stars. I guess it's because they watch their favorite YouTubers and the YouTubers that they like, that all their friends like. They're big stars. They have, millions of subscribers and all these views, and they imagine they could be like that. Because these stars, they're not doing anything too special. They're running around having fun, and they think, oh, that looks great. I want to do that too. And I could be rich and wealthy like these YouTube stars that have all these ad deals, and I could have an income. And it's delusional. I mean, we had the same ideas when we were kids about being movie stars or being the lead singer of some band, because that was our entertainment. That's the stuff that we watched, and we imagined that we could do that too if we just sang songs like they did or we acted like they did, that we could also have those jobs. But that's just not how it works, Entertainment, it's got so much behind it. Even these YouTube stars, they have huge teams behind them producing their videos. They're usually not the one who edits the video even. A lot of them have whole teams, whole production crews that set up the spaces and recruit other people to be in their videos. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole team. Even though it looks like it's just one person, one star. It's kind of like a movie, a movie. You see the cast, you see all the actors, and that's who you think's making the movie, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's the visible portion. There's all the people in the shadows, all the production people, all the people setting up the locations, and all the horrible, tedious things you don't want to think about. So I get that sort of youthful, naive delusion that you'd want to be a YouTube star. But in my mind, YouTube it's just a convenient and interesting platform for communication, a way to get your ideas out there to the world, to have a bit of a connection and communication with people that you'd never meet otherwise. I think of it like, if I like to talk about philosophy, like my ideas, I think about going out onto a street corner and shouting about I think this and that to passersby. Like, do I really think tens of thousands of people would be interested in my rants about what I think about life? No, not really. I mean, if a little ring of people forms around me and I got 10 or 20 people listening to what I'm saying, then that would be a great success on the street corner. So I think of YouTube like that. Like a little virtual street corner, and some people pass by and some people will think, oh, that looks interesting. What's that? But it doesn't even seem like the same reality to think that you could be like a star, or like you could be big. You could have a whole brand. You could be a brand, and you could have income. That's another thing that I think people are delusional about, is that they are going to make YouTube their job. They're going to make YouTube their job before they even have success at all. It's just an idea in their mind. They'll work hard at it, and they think because they work so hard at it, they put all these hours in, they learn all these skills for editing, they come up with all these ideas they think are great for their videos, but they never get really an audience. They can't really conceptualize that you have to fulfill an actual present need. They kind of have it backwards. They go from what's in their own mind and they want to put that out into the world, and then they expect that to be rewarded monetarily, financially, like this signal of social value that they've contributed, when all they've done is what they want to do, not understanding that to be successful, to generate an income, you have to provide things that other people want. So you have to start with the market. You have to look at who's out there, what do they want, and try to solve all the problems to give it to them. That's the whole deal. That's where money comes from. But people who haven't grasped this yet, people who are young and naive, they haven't been through it, they think if they just do what's in their heart and do what they're passionate about, what they want to do, and share that, and they put a lot of effort into it, so it feels like they've done work, they deserve to be compensated, that eventually they're gonna have YouTube pay for their life or something. And it's not gonna work out for the vast majority of people. The barrier to entry is nothing. Everyone's got a phone, you can upload for free, like your competition's the entire world, and you want to compete and have all the attention and get all the money. It's delusional thinking. I hate to break it to you. So these people that want to start their business, they want to create a business, and we're going to use YouTube to generate the interest, and we're going to create a sales funnel. We're going to funnel people in. We're going to hook them with the free video, and then we're going to funnel them off to our course or to our business. It can work, I guess, but I just feel like most of the time it's delusional thinking, and most of the time people get really disappointed by this way of thinking. So my way of thinking about YouTube is much, much more modest. I'm already happy with what I have. It's great. I get like 10 people or maybe 50 people if the video's really compelling or the algorithm latches onto it, and they're all listening to my thoughts and what I have to say, and I'm like humbled. I'm like, wow, that many people want to hear me just ramble about something. It's like a whole classroom filled with people. That's crazy. I'm really not used to that sort of attention. I went back and I watched some of my first videos, my earlier videos, and I have a different tone back then because I was so isolated for so long. I didn't really talk to anybody about anything. So the way I speak in those videos is it's more like in my head. It's more talking about subjects that are more abstract, and I'm more timid, I'm more halting. And then my more recent videos, I'm kind of a bit more relaxed and a bit more emotionally open and a bit more like lighthearted. I don't take myself so seriously. Back then it was like a massive deal to like share the things I'm thinking with the world. That was crazy. It was like unthinkable because I kept that stuff to myself so long. And I thought like a bunch of people would harass me or like be angry with me. But no, people were super nice. Everyone just left likes. My whole channel, I put out 60 videos, and I got my first dislike ever just like a week ago on one video where I was being a little bit extra provocative, and I see it as an accomplishment. Finally, I got someone to dislike a video. So the response has been overwhelmingly positive, and I really had nothing to fear. So I feel like my attitude about it has really thawed out. And even though I share a lot of profound things that are really important to me, I share a lot of things that are very personal, I've just learned that there's no reason to take it so seriously. It's just like shouting on a street corner. It's like, making a little show for a little cluster of people. And I love it. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. Even if there's pressure you got to do things the right way so the algorithm will like accept you and show you to not nobody. That's the worst feeling when you make something that's really like, you feel it's good and it's important to you, but you're shown to nobody. So you got to work with the algorithm a bit, and that part's annoying. But other than that, I really appreciate Google and YouTube's like willingness to just give you a free platform to distribute your thoughts, and somehow people that like your stuff trickle in, and it's really amazing. So thanks Google, thanks YouTube, I appreciate it. I'm doing this challenge to post a video every day for 30 days. So far, it's going okay. I post every day at 5 p.m. Eastern US time, and we're trying to get through 30 days here. So it's a little challenging, but it's an interesting challenge. So if you like my style, then check back in tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. See you then.